Hey, this is Soldier7 here, reporting for Right Wing Federation, and this video is going to be about more on the Trump victory. As you know, last week, Trump was considered the winner of the U.S. presidential election of 2024 and will soon be returning to the White House, which is good. And interesting enough, some people may not know this, but this is the first time where something like this has occurred since Grover Cleveland. Someone who has been elected to the U.S. presidential election twice, but did not serve 2 terms altogether. This will be the first time since then that has occurred. But because as you know, usually when someone gets 2 terms, they're just put right there combined. But as you know, interesting enough, for the first time in over a century and change, that has occurred once more. Anyways, as we know, Trump will soon be returning to the White House in 2 months to serve another 4 years as he did before. And as of right now, he's picking certain people to be part of his administration. Now, there are talks on whether who it should be and should not be, depending on who has not been picked for whatnot. And there's even some concerns. Some people talking about, is there going to be what some people are saying, snakes in the grass, like there were in his previous administration with certain people like John Bolton and so forth, and a few others that I won't get into. But if I could do another video on that, but another time perhaps. But I will just say, hopefully there won't be any, and if there are, hopefully there won't be as much. Hopefully he has learned his lesson, which I'm sure he has. So hopefully there won't be, or if there will be, there won't be as much, and they won't cause as much damage as they did the first time. So hopefully they won't do much damage, if so. But hopefully there will be less, at least this time. But anyway, a whole video about that I'll just say another time perhaps. In this video, I want to focus more on the Trump victory per se and what followed it. And mainly what followed it is some of the media's reaction to the election, and that is a lot of people are saying that the election went the way it did, at least the presidential election went the way it did, was because of sexism. Now, at first it started out as racism, but then it moved to sexism all of a sudden, saying it was the male vote that got Trump elected. Because, as you know, Trump won, although not the majority, but won a good portion or a good amount of percentage of votes within the Black community, the Latino community, the Oriental community, or I guess you would say the Asian American community, however you want to call it, and so forth, and all the other ethnic groups that are non-white. But they say the majority of those people who got those votes for Trump mostly came from males, and then you have one media outlet who's saying that it was the male vote in general, and saying that this election was the outcome of the election was based on misogynistic mentality or so forth, and I'm just like, what? That doesn't make sense. First it was racism, now it's sexism. I mean, even if that's the case, that doesn't mean to say that women didn't vote for Trump either. I mean, there were plenty of women, I'm sure, who voted for Trump, but for some reason it said because more males voted for Trump, or he was able to get out that male vote that some say he wouldn't normally get. Certain types of males or so forth that wouldn't vote for him before voted for him now. some people are saying that's why he won the election. Well, first of all, the one thing I will say is, did it ever occur to these people that the reason why Trump got elected had nothing to do with sexism or anything? Because I know that's what some people in the media are saying, that the reason why Kamala lost the election was because she was a woman, which is what some people did make the claim when he ran against Hillary in 2016. But did it ever occur to you that maybe the reason why Kamala lost is because there were certain things that were just not popular with her regarding, not just with certain amount of Black Americans or Latino Americans or Asian Americans or so forth, or non-white Americans or so forth, but there was just certain things about her that were just not popular amongst Americans in general. Even Americans who probably didn't like Trump, even Americans who probably aren't even Republicans or conservative or libertarian or right-wing. Maybe there's even some left-leaning people who did not like Kamala, and there were certain things about her that were just unpopular about her. So maybe the reason why she lost the election was because it had nothing to do with her gender. It probably had more to do with her ideas. Now keep in mind, there was not a whole lot she named to begin with, but when she did, they didn't seem very popular among certain people within the country, if not most of it. First of all, keep in mind, when she was on The View and she was asked if she would do anything different from Joe Biden, she said there was nothing she could think of. I mean, could that alone have just cost her the election? I don't know. I'm not saying it did, but could you say it did? I don't know, but I'm sure it definitely cost her some votes. No doubt about it. Because since she's been vice president for the last 3 years, almost 4, since her and Joe Biden took office on January 20th, 2021, a lot of shenanigans have occurred between now and then, especially regarding the economy, the border, and international policy, so forth. So, yeah, certain things that we did not see the first time under Donald Trump. So maybe that's why the vote, America vote their cast for him, or the majority, enough for him to win, because maybe he can return to office and create some stability, if not fix it, regarding those issues. But being that said, why would he just get the election based on sexism? No, yeah, there's going to be some whole other ideas and so other reasons why they may say why Trump won the election and so forth, in a negative way, since that's what the media seems to be about these days. And of course, there's also some talks among certain people how the Democrat Party needs to do some soul searching and so forth, because Trump won the presidential election. It looks like the GOP also won back the Senate at the same time, although some of those elections within the Senate are being questioned. Even some of the congressional elections are being questioned. Yeah, I may do a video on that, but another time perhaps. But just real quickly, some talks about how now the Democrat Party needs to do some soul searching. What do you think that means? What kind of soul searching do they have to do now? I don't know, but I might have an idea, which I might do in another video, on what the Democrat Party could do if they want to win back certain votes or whatnot, or whatever it is that they're concerned about. But then again, who knows? Anyone has any ideas? Please do tell. The comments are open. And yeah, well, that's it. That's it for me. That's all I'm going to say for right now. This is Soldier 7. Thanks for listening.